What's going on, everybody? Oh, no, I'm small. Why am I so tiny? There we go. That is better. There we go. That's actually better. Sweet. Okay. My keyframe interval is set incorrectly. Interesting. I don't know how to change that. But as long as everything else seems okay, we will roll with that. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me check and see how things are looking on X before we proceed with anything. I hope everything isn't too terrible. Okay, let's see how's that sound. Okay, so I'm a little behind. It's okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Alrighty, righty. Actually, you know what we could do with a little wee bit of music. So let me get my music player playing here. Let me get rid of some of these because we don't need them. In fact, there's duplicates of some of these. We definitely don't need those. All right, I think that's actually fine. All right, let's go ahead and load up open a folder. Desktop, music. All right, hopefully it isn't too loud and you guys can hear everything okay. All right, how's the music sound? Oh, Stream Manager's messed up. Okay, so now it's super loud. All right, I think that's about where we want it. All right, so today we're going to be covering the news like we always do. And I also have a bit of a surprise for you guys. We're going to be trying to do some video editing as well. So that'll be something to look forward to, I think. Okay, let me... Alright. Let me know if this volume is too loud or if it's just right. Alright, so let me move us over to the web pages. There we go. No, why is it showing that screen? No! That is not the screen it's supposed to be showing. That's the disc, or that's the screen it's supposed to be showing. Ay, ay, ay. Just taking certain liberties with things. All right. So the main thing that we're going to be covering right now is the whole issue with Sony PlayStation and how they have just given everybody the bone, so to speak. They have, as you have all heard, they have started removing... Hey, what's going on, Tomahawk? How you doing, man? Everything going all right for you? We're just about to jump into the game news portion of today. And the main thing that we're covering today is the PlayStation debacles. So they've stopped producing, or physical disc production is going to stop in January 2028. And that article says that they are saying that its consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry are continuing to shift away from physical discs to digital, and disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting in January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. So you only get these, or get new games. That's good to hear, man. Got any plans for the 4th? So, seeing content creators that aren't even Culture Warrior show. Oh yeah, dude, I am so much more of a physical copy guy. Like, given the choice between a digital thing or a physical thing, I will 9 times out of 10 choose the physical thing. Like when I was in college, you know, they would always give, do you want the digital book? No, I want the actual physical copy. Beer and Dogs. Nice. Classics. Those are classic options. But yeah, so 9 times out of 10, I will choose the physical version of the thing rather than the digital copy. Simply for the fact that I prefer to have something in my hand that I can hold. Comic books, actual books, textbooks, music, even my music. If I could, I would still prefer to get it on CD. But to find a CD player these days is so hard and difficult to find one. But so Sony is saying this is their natural direction to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. So basically, they're saying, hey, we're switching to digital and it's your fault. Even though companies have been cutting back our options for physical media for years. And they are slowly whittling away the option for physical media to the point now where we don't even really have a choice in the matter. And so that's that one. A crazy thing, let me bring up, well, I mean, I don't need to bring it up. You guys probably already know. Nintendo right now is the only ones that are still really creating any kind of physical media. They haven't said that they're going to stop with their memory card games. Xbox has said that they're going to stop making games too. My understanding is that they're going to stop creating their physical games sometime next year. Although, with the announcement of the PlayStation thing and how much grief that they're getting, I think they've actually rolled that back. And I'm still... it depends on what it is and who it is. Yeah, that's why I was saying 9 times out of 10. Because there are things where I would prefer it to be digital. But most of the time, given the options for physical media, I will take the physical option. But yeah, Nintendo says that they're still going to create physical games. Xbox has said that they're going to, or Nintendo is still going to keep making them. Xbox and Sony have said that they're going to stop. Although Xbox kind of started to roll that back a little, but only just a little. And I would have thought of all of the console makers, I would have thought Nintendo would have been the one to stop making physical games, because theirs console, if you want to call it a console, is the only thing that's technically portable. And honestly, nobody wants to haul around all those little discs all the time. So, of anyone, I'm surprised it's Nintendo that's holding the line on the physical media. I'm not saying that Nintendo is by far any kind of a hero, but they are the only ones still giving you the option for physical media. But like I said, Nintendo is shifty in all kind of other ways. All right, so that's that one. That flashbang. Sorry for your eyes, folks. All right, so PlayStation's digital-only future makes Sony's dynamic... Oh, this is something that I came up. Right now, Sony is testing dynamic pricing for their games. And this is one of the key points of the video that I'll be putting out later this weekend, maybe even into Monday, depending on how my tomorrow goes. Sony ending disc production for PS5 in 2028, hurtling us to an all-digital future. It's worth remembering that PlayStation Maker recently introduced a new pricing model that is all the more worrying in the wake of the news. Back in March of 26, reports started to surface that PlayStation had unleashed a dynamic pricing in various regions, ranging from Brazil to North America. The new model changed the prices you'd see on the PlayStation Store for a PS5 game, depending on several factors, including your gaming habits, like when was the last time you logged in, where you live, and the status of your account, such as, like, for example, its age. For example, one Brazilian individual could get the action-adventure game Stellar Blade for $39.89, while another may be able to grab it for about $21. According to reports from both Eurogamer and Insider Gaming, this pricing model impacted first- and third-party games. Astrobot, developed by PlayStation-owned Japanese studio team Asobi, saw wildly different prices, as noted by Cheap Ass Gamer. Stellar Blade, on the other hand, was developed by the South Korean studio Shift Up and published by PlayStation. And that's a whole other can of worms that we are not going to get into right now. This dynamic pricing model is quite concerning now that PlayStation is effectively killing physical games in 2028, though they do go on sale occasionally. Digital games aren't always cheaper than their physical counterparts. And that's the part that bothers me. Oh, yeah, dude, Nintendo and their morality confuses me too. Nintendo still has a morality system, but their new Fable game doesn't. That's another thing that always bothered me. Why is the cheap version of games not cheaper than, or why is the digital version of games not cheaper than the physical copy? I know why for Nintendo it's not, because they are simultaneously, from a physical media perspective, they are saving games, but at the same time they are murdering your wallet. That digital is cheaper. Yeah, I could see that. So, yeah, and the fact that digital is cheaper is all the more reason why. The fact that it's not cheaper is what makes me angry. Digital copies should always be cheaper than the physical copies, because obviously you get a product in your hand. And so, having a physical copy costs more makes at least a little bit of sense. And now, with the announcement of things like Grand Theft Auto 6, where if you saw my last video, they're calling it a physical copy, but the only thing that's in there is a digital code. And so the only thing that you're actually getting is basically just emotional support plastic. You get the feeling like you own the game because you have the game case, but all you get is like a slip of paper with essentially a Wi-Fi password written on it. And that's not worth it to me. It'd be better that they just write it on a napkin and hand it to me that way. But getting back to the this dynamic pricing thing, they go on sale, and because local governments require that the company collect sales taxes on digital goods, you're sometimes paying the same, if not more, for the digital game, which actually is worse. And this has resulted in class action lawsuits in both California and the Netherlands. And honestly, California confuses the crap out of me, dude. California confuses me. Like, they do something, kind of stupid, for the whole rest of California. But then for gamers, they require, games actually have... Well, I'm sure at this point you guys have heard of the Stop Killing Games movement. And they actually won a few things in the courts in California lately. So, in California, they're on the side of the gamer, seemingly so far. But everywhere else, they absolutely hate people. It makes no sense over there. And all of this points to a potentially expensive, or at the very least dizzyingly unpredictable, all-digital future where you could pay one price and your friend will end up paying a different price entirely, and your sibling or your parent or whoever pays a third totally different price. And honestly, I've seen some of this play out in some other places where, what was it like? I think it was Kohl's or Target tried rolling this out some time ago with the dynamic pricing. And it was really creepy, and I'm not sure how it panned out because I don't shop at Target. There's another place that has a morality system where else has a morality system that confuses you out like this? I'm curious to know. But yeah, so in addition to killing physical copies, now they're rolling out this dynamic pricing. And a couple weeks ago I mentioned that Xbox has started putting basically live ads in your sporting good games, which honestly, that one bugs me probably more. Oh, that's another place. That you meant that, not there. Okay. My reading comprehension's a little behind, so I do apologize. But yeah, man. So that's another thing that's confusing me. Like Xbox is pushing more ads out to you, and then you've got PlayStation is going to nickel and dime you to death with their video games, or their lack of physical video games, anyway. And then headed back here, looks like Sony PlayStation disc there's already repurposing of their disc factories. Yeah, and it's, I don't want to like say, oh, it's harder for me, but I'm over here to my right looking at the chat screen, and then I'm over here to my left reading the article, so things get jumbled. But yeah, so since Sony has already killed games as far as they're concerned, they've already started to repurpose factories, and Sony's been planning to kill it for some time. According to a report out of Austria, the man who leads Sony's disc-making operation, Sony DADC president Dietmar Tanzer, told ORF Salzburg that the company's Thalgau plant, I am definitely butchering that, plant produces 600,000 discs every day. 500,000 discs a day, man. Half of which are for PlayStation. But since it'll only be making 10% of that volume in 2020, starting in 2028, it's planning to retrain all 300 employees to work on optical micro lenses instead. So now instead of discs, they're making these lenses, and those might be the very lenses that are used in like reading discs. I don't know. Thalgau isn't just one of Sony's disc plants, it's where the disc making division is headquartered. So it's not just any plant, it is their main plant. It's where the disc, and appears to be only remaining wholly owned, its only wholly owned disc manufacturing facility. Sony made discs in the United States for decades, originally in Terre Haute, Indiana, and later in New Jersey, but it closed the latter plant in 2011 and moved all manufacturing from Indiana to Thalgau in 2022. Today, the Indiana factory markets itself to automakers who need help packaging and assembling headlights and things like that. So they went from making a ton of discs for a major video game platform to helping make headlights. That is really kind of sad. And kind of disappointing. Excuse me 1 second. They're taking our gerbs. No, Sony is sending them away, is what they're doing. And that's real. That's so sad, dude. So, I mean, at least they were able to find something for this factory, but the fact that they went from, making games to I don't want it sounds so bad when I say it like, oh, they're reduced to making headlights, because clearly automakers are a big source of income for a lot of companies, other or third-party companies, but It's just sad. No, go away. Oh, it cut me off. Maybe if I restart. Okay, there we go. Those lenses too are oh, so I was right. The lenses are used for making discs, and that Sony has now invested 30 million euros to manufacture those lenses, and that mass production may begin as early as next year. So they've stopped. Yeah, at least they were able to repurpose. So they stopped making discs and started making the lenses that read discs. What kind of sense does that make? Honestly, it's just so dumb. It's so dumb. All right. And so this one just straight up says that it's Sony killed the games and it's your fault. So thanks, Rogie Bear Boy, for following over on the Twitchticles. Appreciate it, my dude. And so when this article, the logic ain't logicking. No, it is not. It makes less than no sense. How are you going to go from making discs to making the lenses that read the discs? Let's see. Also didn't mean I wanted to be writing something like this so soon after bringing it up, and I definitely didn't want to have to rewrite it not once but twice within the space of a few days. I had already taken a stab. All right, let's see. There will be no more new PlayStation video games printed on discs starting in 2028 from any source at all whatsoever. There will most likely be no disc drive within the new PS6 either. Which, honestly, if they're not going to be making discs, there'd be no point in putting a disc drive in it, honestly. A console that's increasingly likely to cost in the region of $1,000. $1,000! That's so crazy. Hey, Sonic Elk, thanks for following on Twitch, man. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. We are covering the preview to the fall of Sony PlayStation and going over all the articles of how they are literally shooting themselves in the foot. Earlier, I was talking about how they stopped their manufacturing plant for discs, and now they are making only the lenses that read discs, which is ironic. Mainly because there will be no physical games to play on it apart from your previous generations. And of course, and by virtue of all of that, the concept of game ownership, the notion of buying something and actually owning it, it being yours to keep and share and sell and preserve forever, not just be rented indefinitely until someone arbitrarily decides to disappear it from your library in the click of a finger. Like, oh, I don't know, all the movies made by Studio Canal is effectively gone. It comes back to the whole you will own nothing and be happy about it. Sony's been effing up for a while now. Yeah, and what's crazy is Xbox is basically kind of doing the same thing, although I am pretty sure at this point they saw the absolute browbeating that Sony has taken, and I think they might be thinking otherwise, because I saw something that Xbox was doing where if you buy the physical copy of a game, essentially when you load the disc in, it will also load you a copy of the digital one, so effectively you'll end up with two copies of the same game. Which, honestly, as long as they keep that, I think at least Xbox might be the way to go. Either that, or if you want physical media, you'll have to play with a Nintendo, and that's a whole other moral dilemma in and of itself, to be honest. It's been mostly gone already, of course. You don't own your PC games on Steam or Epic. And Steam was arguably the start of all of this. It shouldn't be forgotten. You won't own your PlayStation games once they can't be bought on discs, and discs are, as preservation experts have pointed out, only part of the puzzle here too. With the disc as a license concept, the real issue, you sort of maybe own your Nintendo games on a game key card insofar as it's an unresolved question as to whether you can have the license be revoked, but you can at least sell them. And you don't own your Xbox games because, let's be honest, on the balance of probabilities, you probably don't own an Xbox. I don't know how that works with the whole Xbox ownership. I didn't know that there was an issue with that. That might be something for me to look into for next week, possibly. That might seem like a stray pot shot for poor old Team Green, but there is a point to be made here not to absolve Sony of responsibility for its own grim decision-making. This is not Xbox's fault, although never one to miss out on a good cell phone. They look to be joining in anyway. Yes, and that's what I was talking about. But it's worth asking, would this decision have been made if Sony had any serious, viable competition from their one-time rival? Xbox attempts at standing up to PlayStation have been so utterly, pitifully impotent over the past decade, this slash-happy present administration very much included, that Sony now essentially has free reign over high-end home console market. And you know what I think would be really kind of cool? Is if we saw the resurrection of Sega, and they just, blast everybody with nothing but physical media. Sega has always been kind of one of those companies where they come out with cool stuff, but it's like way too cool and it doesn't do very well at the time, but then you realize how good it was after the fact, and then you wish you had it back. That's kind of how I feel about the Dreamcast sometimes, to be honest. There was a time when Xbox, even as it faltered in so many ways, at least drove to a genuine movement in favor of the consumer. Under the former boss Phil Spencer, cross-play between Xbox and PlayStation, cross-save from Xbox to PC versions of the same game, and backwards compatibility across generations were all primarily Xbox initiatives, all driven by a competitive desire to make one platform a better place to play, nice, than the other, or to win the PR war, or to at least keep the pressure on from the pack, even if it couldn't be overtaken. Right? You know what? I think Sega should come back, and I think they should, release games like Yakuza, which I might actually be playing today. Afterwards. The question is, do I play 3 or do I start Pirate Yakuza? Because I've heard crazy things about that one. And with that competition essentially gone now, the brief pool of goodwill Xbox elicited from the summer showcase immediately swept away on the wind of yet more goblin green corporate savagery. There's vanishing little incentive for Sony to care about the farther corners of consumer experience. And I have my own views on the CEO, to be honest. I believe she is there essentially to limp Xbox along until they finally decide to mothball it, and then she is going to essentially loot the corpse of Xbox and take it all back to her AI division. So that's kind of how I feel about that, or at least her anyway. All right. Or whether it just comes across as a bit evil, it's worth making it clear here, if physical games are on the chopping block after PlayStation executives themselves once stood on stage and evangelized their benefits for the world to hear, then nothing is sacred. If you break the biggest norm, all the little ones can be broken too. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. If you're able to take away the one thing people like, or, they actually enjoy and are fully behind, then nothing else matters. Anything from backwards compatibility to established pricing can and will be on the table now. Yeah, and honestly, I made a post on X the other day responding to another VTuber who was posting up some of the clowning memes of other companies that were doing against PlayStation, saying how these companies will no longer be selling physical copies of their product and only do digital. I responded with basically, as of today, I will no longer be doing live streams. I will now come to your house and read to you the news and then give you a list of all the video games that will be coming out in the next week. It also ties into one of the biggest issues of several that will arise here. Killing off physical games leads to a lack of competition. And a lack of competition has effects that bleed into the entire ecosystems. Consoles are already relatively walled gardens, but by making the purchase of games all but exclusive to a transaction on the platform itself, Sony is essentially achieving peak vertical integration, the wettest of corporate dreams. And we have to assume that exclusivity will be the case. And honestly, I mean, gaming is already... Oh, I did. I actually commented on the whole Domino's thing. That was hilarious. We will no longer be selling physical pizzas, but digital ones instead. Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious. My favorite one, though, was from Proton. The guys that try to sell you the encrypted mail and the integrated VPN and all the others and password protector. They said, instead of all of that, we will send an employee out to you who will read your physical mail to you. We will send an employee out to you that will remember your passwords. And if you need to search something, we will fly you to the location that has that information and you can browse as if you live there. It was a whole goofy thing. Excuse me. But yeah, the whole thing was just goofy. Now, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, if Xbox wanted to actually learn from anything or learn from this, they would cancel their plans to delete the physical copies and keep them. And just keep rolling with the yeah, exactly. Total meme warfare. They would just keep the whole physical copy and get a free digital one when you put the disc in. That idea, I like, because then that way you have the physical media, you can sell it. The only question at that point becomes, all right, when you sell the game off, what happens to the digital copy? That's the only thing that I wonder about. You need only look at console platforms themselves for a taste of it, with the rent-seeking practice of demanding a continuous and not cheap subscription to access relatively base features of modern gaming, such as cloud saves or online multiplayer. Oh, that's what I was going to mention. Gaming is already a first world hobby, and it was never really super cheap to begin with. But now with things like dynamic pricing and the lack of physical copies and the cost of digital games only going up, for example, Grand Theft Auto 6, it's not only becoming even more expensive, it's becoming downright exclusive to only the people that can literally afford games. Oh, and since I brought up Grand Theft Auto 6, a person that I work with was talking about how if you factor in for inflation, the newest Grand Theft Auto game is actually cheaper because the cost of the games back then, without the when you factor in inflation, those previous games are actually more expensive than the first one. I'm like, no, dude, $100 is still more than $60. You can say you factor in inflation all you want, but the fact is, more money is coming out of my wallet. And there is no defending a huge company like that literally bleeding your wallet dry. There's just no good defense for that. Me too. I mean, it's great when you're talking about like investments and that puts more money in your pocket. But the fact that this person is just like, oh, hey, when you factor in inflation, the new game is actually cheaper, even though it's $100. No. Exactly. With goods and services, it's about the cost now, not the cost back then when you factor in inflation. That whole thing bugs the ever-loving heck out of me. That's only the start of it. Binning off discs has all kinds of consequences. Preservation being the most obvious, and yes, discs have long since passed being the panacea here. With the rise of Day Zero patches, those Day Zero patches have always bugged me. Bring back the days when we didn't need them. That's what I say. Now, if we talk about how to go back to the time, that it's a different story. Yeah, maybe. But you can't time travel, so, I mean, the argument borders on moot, honestly. But with the rise of zero-day patches irritate me. I hate them. Let's go back to the days when we didn't have to have them. And honestly, if you can't release a fully functional game to where you need a day one patch, then don't release it. Always on internet requirements, that's another thing that bothers me. And relentlessly updated games. We're no longer in the world where buying a physical copy of a game means you own it anyway, let alone that you own the best and final version of the game. Often quite the opposite. Yeah, we should stop letting developers be so lazy. Honestly, I would agree, but the problem is, hey Bear, how you doing? The problem is, you have the people that will, for whatever reason, they think it's a good idea to pre-order a digital game. I mean, what kind of sense does it make to pre-order a digital game? It's not like they're going to run out of copies. Like, I remember when I worked at GameStop when I was a teenager, when the first iteration of the 360 came out. And, those kinds of things, it makes sense to pre-order because, there are only so many copies on the first day. So pre-orders make sense. It's a physical good. It's a physical item. They have a limited number of limited stock. That makes sense. But this whole pre-order a digital thing is just dumb. Honestly. And I don't like the whole pre-order a digital thing. There's the concept of game sharing that Sony is also obliterating here, the irony of which naturally been pointed out ad nauseum over the hours since the news broke. In case you missed it, it was PlayStation 13 years ago that mocked Don Matrix's Xbox One DRM plans so perfectly with an off-the-cuff video recorded at E3 back in 2013, and it was Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jack Tretton who stood on stage at E3 and said, "Amongst interrupting cheers from the crowd, we believe in the model that people embrace today with PlayStation 3 and continue to demand when a gamer buys a PS4 disc. They have the rights to use that copy of the game. They can trade in the game at retail, sell it to another person, lend it to a friend, or keep it. The problem with using principles to land a big PR punch, of course, is that when you abandon them, that punch tends to swing back around twice as hard. And I'll add it, looks like it's hitting them in the face." With physical discs gone, so is the secondhand market. So now you've got companies like GameStop, which I mentioned earlier. They're going to see a massive drop in sales. And what happens if you want to return a game or you don't like it? Now you're just stuck with it. It's dumb, especially since you only get about 24 hours early, if at all. Yeah, exactly. Well, although, like with Sony's getting Tiger dropped with this one. Right? So, like, GameStop is going to see a drop in sales. You won't be able to return the game. And, you know, with the whole, like, we can revoke your library at any time, I feel like if they revoke your library, you should get a refund on the game. Because essentially, they're stealing your copy of the game. So if they're going to take your copy, they should give you back your money. That's how I think that should work. In fact, it's probably the only option that I see that I would even accept with this whole digital-only version. If you're going to take my copy, I want my money back. Otherwise, piracy isn't theft in this case. If buying isn't ownership, piracy isn't theft. Just my view here. Not advocating for it, but on the other hand, they are literally stealing your game. With physical discs gone, so is the secondhand market, which I mentioned earlier. A disaster for many street retailers, and with it the ability to actually maintain value in what you buy as a consumer. Forget the loft storage treasure trove discovered years down the line, and you know, the memories that are associated with those physical copies, because it's like, oh hey, you know, you go up to your attic and you see the game sitting there, you're like, oh hey, I remember this thing, but let me dust off my console, plug it in and play it, you know, for nostalgia's sake. You don't have that anymore. There's no longer even a guarantee that any old console you dig out from under all the old school homework your mom kept in deep storage will even play the game it's stored. And speaking of storage, please look forward to the all digital future where an SSD will cost $3,000. I think this guy might be over exaggerating a bit. There's more, and I think actually this might be what matters most. There is something intangible that goes away here. About a year ago, on a spare afternoon in Helsinki, after visiting the wonderful Remedy, I went to the Udi Helsinki Central Library, a gift to the people of Finland to celebrate 100th anniversary. Why are they... Yeah. Why are they talking about the library? I don't care about the library. Oh. You can borrow to use in proper recording studios and also video games, rooms of consoles, VR headsets, even a little CRT screen with some retro games. Oh, no, that's cool. A library with video games in it. That is a dope idea. Honestly, I kind of like it. Insert One Piece rap. You're going to have to enlighten me on what that means. I haven't seen One Piece since the 90s, dude. On the top level is a glass-walled archive with a wooden floor that curves up at each end as if to make you think you're aboard some ship bound for the Arctic. Find students sitting right up against the glass. This is also why Sony's insistence that it's a great choice made due to consumer preferences or that it's a necessary in order to adapt to consumer trends sticks so uncomfortably in the craw. The notion of consumers voting with their wallets, this person actually believes is a myth. Nobody put the full consequences of any vote in front of the consumer here. Nobody said you can choose to own what you buy or give that up for a small discount and be able to buy it a bit faster while you have the controller in your hands. There's no conscious, weighted up specific choice of being made by anyone. And I'll disagree with this person here. You absolutely can. Oh, so it was back in the day. Dude, it's been so long, I don't remember it. I'll disagree with the writer of this article here. You still can vote with your wallet. If everybody stops buying Sony crap entirely and their sales just drop to an abysmally low level after them announcing the whole no physical disc anymore, they might actually turn it around. I don't know. They may or may not. But when they start doing more market research and they find out why, they might actually bring discs back. Just a thought. I don't see how it was a banger. Are we still talking about the rap, or are we talking about this horrible news article this guy wrote, where he's blaming the video gamer, even though they weren't really, the video gamer wasn't given a choice necessarily. And, you know, he does kind of have a point. Steam was kind of the start of all of this, and I remember when Steam came out, I was so against it. I'll be honest, because I was like, but how am I going to play my games if I don't have a CD player for my video games? So I was against Steam for the longest time when it first came out. But at least with Steam and their digital copies, you do still own the game. Like, if they take a game off the store, they're not going to remove the game from your library. You'll still be able to install and uninstall the game. Like, they don't just yank it out of your library. Oh, gotcha. The One Piece was a banger. Oh, dude, I was a kid when it came out. When I say I was a kid, I was not even a teenager in the 90s. So One Piece really wasn't all that super entertaining for me. I was more of a Ninja Turtle fan, or Pokemon. So while, yeah, Steam kind of started it, Steam doesn't rob your library. So, I mean, I get what he's saying, but he wasn't 100% about it. And we got more here, more people going on about it. And here's a thing from GOG, where they posted to say, hey, if you buy stuff from your library from us, it never leaves your library. So whereas companies like Sony can yank your games out of your library, GOG is another one that won't. So if you're looking for digital games, I would maybe start looking at GOG. A long time to be in front of the TV. Yeah, my mom only let me watch TV a couple, like 1 to 2 hours a day at most. And sometimes I would save them up all week and watch all of it, the whole week's worth of TV on Saturday. So there is this whole thing. So if you're going to buy digital, buy it from stores that won't rob your library at any given point. GOG is a DRM-free PC storefront, and they chimed in with this tweet that I've mentioned a couple of times. Here we have another one from GameStop, where a lady in Ohio, or a dude in Ohio, traded in his 360 collection for over $1,000 in store credit and left with a new PS5. What an idiot! Okay, so a 360, a collection of 360 games, and he only got $1,000 for it. Considering how cheap GameStop is with giving you money for your games, I can only imagine that he had to have had about 1,000 games and 2 consoles, because GameStop does not pay that well for used items. And also, the next Xbox, like I mentioned before, won't have a disk drive in it either. And we'll pop that up too. But here, like we were talking about the memes earlier, Tomahawk. So here's where they were basically saying that even KFC was making fun of them. Oh, and here's that here's that Domino's announcement. In response to trends in the gaming industry, as of April 1st, 2027, Domino's will cease production of physical pizzas and shift to production of digital pizzas only. Consumers will be able to download our full range of delicious pizza codes and use the power of imagination. Enjoy them in an entirely virtual sense. And I wish I could read whatever language this is. This looks like Spanish, but I can't read it. Where's the translation button? But I'm pretty sure it says something along the lines of we're gonna stop selling real chicken and sell fake or digital chicken. Oh, here it is. Within a year, we'll release the Fried Chicken Pass, KFC continued. You'll get our entire catalog for a modest monthly price. If you pirate the PNGs on Pinterest, we'll come to your house. Oh, and here's the first half of it. Breaking news, KFC will stop offering its physical format starting today, which has over 1 million. Their products can only be consumed through our app in a fake PNG format. Within 1 month, we'll release a DLC with the sauces. Dude, you know you've screwed up when the people that sell the worst chicken on the planet are clowning on you. And I mean, let's be honest, Domino's Pizza's kind of mid. What's the Pinkertons? I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of the references you're making, Tomahawk. I'm sorry, dude. Meanwhile, former late-night talk show host Trevor Noah took to Twitter to criticize Sony's decision in detail. I never thought I would see the day where I would actually agree with Trevor Noah. Holy smokes. That sharing games via their physical disc was the only way some gamers could afford to play when copies were eventually available cheaper at secondhand. You can also give games to your younger siblings, which is a great way to introduce the next generation to gaming. Goons, and they have the worst customer service. Yeah, they kind of do. Noah even pointed to Sony announcement earlier this week that a swath of films bought digitally via the PlayStation Store would be removed from customers' accounts due to rights issues. Pinkerton Detective Agency. I got nothing. As we saw from PlayStation this week, if the media we buy is only digital, it can be taken away from us at a moment's notice with no recourse, Noah concluded. Imagine that one day your entire library of games could be deleted overnight because technically you don't own it. Too young, Steel Bear, I'm pretty sure you and I are at least pretty close in age. What you mean too young? I can't be that much younger than you if I'm younger than you at all. What do you mean too young? Right? Rare W for Trevor Noah. As we saw from PlayStation this past week, if the media we buy is only you don't own it. The post has been warmly received, with former Battlefield director David Goldfarb noting his approval, and the popular video game preservation and accessibility account Does It Play, stating that this was an unprecedented aspect that would also harm game sales by removing one method that provided word of mouth and discoverability. You're roughly 5 years younger than me. So, I'm not that much younger than you. You say I'm younger than you like I'm over a decade younger than you. Within the games industry, retro and indie console manufacturer Blaze Entertainment, which makes the cartridge-based Evercade consoles, published its own parody of Sony's infamous "This is how you share your PS4 games" video. Ooh, we gotta watch this. All right, so let me pause the music here. All right, let's play the video. There is no sound, so don't worry about it. Honestly, that's pretty cool. That's nice. I like that. That was pretty funny. Oh, man. All right, sounds good. While many see digital downloads as the sole inevitable method of game ownership in the future, Sony simultaneously undermined this notion yesterday with the announcement that it was shutting down its PlayStation Store on the aging PS3 and the PlayStation Vita. So now the only way you'll be able to play any of those or anything on those consoles is with a disc. At the same time, analysts have pointed to the end of physical media on PS5 as a clear signal that PS6 will be digital-only console and not due for launch until at least 2028. It's not just Sony doing away with discs either. Microsoft's Xbox, codenamed Project Helix, will reportedly release without a disk drive, and we'll cover that here in a second. Without a disc. In tandem, Microsoft said to be exploring a new disc-to-digital feature that would let users put a disc into their console and gain a digital license for the game, giving them the ability to play without a disc. So I don't know how to feel about the whole Xbox thing. All right, so this is more of the same. Let me see if there's anything worthwhile that we haven't already covered. Nope. Okay. All right. So let's briefly go over the whole Xbox thing, since we've mentioned it a couple of times now. They'll learn or die. You'd be surprised. Like I was saying earlier, there's so many people that pre-order digital games, like they're gonna not have enough. That I'm pretty sure that this will actually succeed, much to the dismay of people that actually care about ownership. Windows Central revealed that sources say that Project Helix, the next generation Xbox, will not feature a disk drive. No further details were provided. But the news came after PlayStation revealed it will no longer be producing physical discs in 2028. This suggests that a PlayStation 6 won't come with a disc drive and that Sony is planning to embrace an all-digital future. The Verge added on to the news cycle by reporting Microsoft is exploring a new disc-to-digital feature. This would allow users to put a disc into the console and gain a digital license for the game, giving them the ability to play it without a disc. Oh, this looks like it might actually explain the thing we were talking about. Yeah, unfortunately, some people are just too stupid for their own good, much to the dismay of people that aren't stupid and actually enjoy the media. If the owner gives the disc to someone else, that entitlement then transfers to the new player. This essentially means you can't resell or loan your physical copy to a friend if you want to keep the digital version. The discs will still work as normal if you choose not to digitize it. Oh, so as long as you don't digitize, you can do whatever you want to the copy or to the game. You can loan it out or do whatever, as long as it doesn't get digitized. The report also notes that this will only apply to Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S games. Original Xbox and 360 titles will not be supported with this feature. Well, duh, there's no need to, because those games have been out for years. but speculated that this new feature may be a way for users to start preparing for an all-digital Xbox. If players want the next version of the console, they may be able to start digitizing their library on the current console. Oh, so it's how they're going to go around the backwards compatibility thing. Okay. I hate this idea. I was for it until I started reading this article. This kind of sucks. This generation console manufacturers gave players the choice on how they buy their games. If you are uninterested in discs, you can buy digital-only variants. However, you can also buy a console with a disc drive included, or in the case of the PS5, buy an attachable disc drive for the digital-only variant of the console. Although it's certainly possible that future consoles could have an optional disc drive to support physical backward compatibility, it's hardly a guarantee at this point. As of right now, Xbox has yet to make any official comment or stance. On future of physical media, Microsoft has confirmed that it will share more about Project Helix later in the year, although details are unsure how they're going to shake out. So yeah. Interesting. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. All right. So for those of you that are kind of interested in what's coming up the next week or so, Esports Manager coming out on the 6th. July 7th, Doom the Dark Ages is getting a new DLC called Revelations. Which reminds me, I actually need to finish Dark Ages. I haven't finished it yet. I think this is the illusion of choice. Yeah, at least for the Helix anyway. I think they're trying to do that so that way you can digitize your library before the Helix drops and you don't have the option. That's kind of what I think they're doing, which at least they're giving people the option. I don't think PlayStation's going to do that. Moonlit Peaks coming up on the 7th as well. It's a nocturnal vampire farming spin. It's a spin on Stardew Valley, is what they're calling it. NTE is actually coming to PC, so through like Steam and stuff like that. Cat Chess also coming out on PC. I actually kind of looked into Cat Chess, and it just looks like you play chess while you're a cat. There's some other things to it, but it's very kitty cat themed. So if you're a chess player, it might be at least an interesting way to go about playing chess. And this one is probably the one that most people are excited about, is the Black Flag Resync. They're saying it's a remake over the whole. They're overhauling all the visuals and stuff like that. I saw some of what they're calling improvements, and it actually looks like they actually went backwards on some of the aspects of this game. Like some of the NPCs, like they uglied them up, almost seeming deliberately. Backyard Baseball. It's on Mac. Who games on a Mac? And it's coming out on Mac and PC and coming out to consoles later this year. EA Sports College Football 27. This is one of those sports games that I mentioned earlier where they're just going to start pushing live ads. And I misspoke earlier. It's not Xbox. It's EA. All of their sports games are going to have live ads. So like if you're doing like a instant replay, when it brings up that replay camera, you're going to have an ad overlay on the replay camera. So like you'll be watching the replay, and all around like the edges of the camera, you're going to see like a Mountain Dew ad or something like that. And the companies can change the ads on the fly however they want. It's really kind of scary. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok is a new expansion coming out for the PlayStations and Switch 2 as well as PC. Digimon Time Stranger is coming to Switch 2. It was already released on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, so now it's coming to Switch 2. So those of you that have a Switch 2 and want to play Digimon, and there are a lot of other content creators that seem to really be into this game. This is the one that I'm kind of looking forward to, is Echoes of Aincrad. So those of you that have watched Sword Art Online, this is a game about the game that's in the anime, which is about being locked in a game. It's kind of confusing, I know. But it's coming out on PS5, Xbox, and PC. I actually kind of wish that this was coming out on VR, simply because it was in the anime, it was a VR game, and I think that would be actually kind of cool. Pal World is hitting 1.0 and finally going live, which a lot of people that I've talked to are actually excited about that. You're excited for the Digimon people? I kind of want to get into it, but I saw how much it was, and I suddenly was not as into it. And this is another one that I hadn't heard of before. SAO without the Kirito. Yes, I know. But you can customize your character to look like him, at least a little bit. And if you buy I think it's like the season pass or the upgraded version or whatever it is, you actually get the Kirito themed weapons. But this Angels Fall First is not one that I have heard of before, so I'll need to do a little more digging into that one. Maybe we'll talk about it next time. And then there's a puzzle game called Detopia coming out on the 14th. And then we'll cover the rest of them next time. So the next thing we're going to do is I've been reached out to try to edit some AI images for somebody. But first, I need to take a bit of a break and head to the bathroom and get a drink of water. So I'm going to put you guys on a BRB, and then we'll continue after that. See you soon, folks.
Asphalt mirrors the violet hum of a city that bleeds before the morning comes. I'm leaning on the history of a crumbling wall, watching the giants in the skyline fall. Red hair burning like a signal fire in the labyrinth of wire and cold desire. The graffiti screams what I can't say. Another ghost in the alleyway. I feel the circuit start to spark.
So bright, so dark.
My veins are glowing through the mesh.
More than just flesh.
This neon skin is all I own, in a kingdom of silicone and stone. I'm the neon ghost in
The rain-slicked night.
purple shadows and a digital bite.
Hold on tight.
I don't need a name, I don't need a soul. The static in the air is in control.
In control, yeah.
Just a flicker in the chrome, nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Green eyes scanning for a glitch in the code. On a dead-end street, on a one-way road. The jacket's glowing with the borrowed grace, while the rain tries to wash the smile off my face. They sell us dreams in a plastic shell, but I'm the king of this urban hell. One hand in my pocket, one on the trigger. The shadows grow long, the stakes grow bigger.
I'm the neon ghost in the rain-slicked night.
Purple shadows and a digital bite.
Hold on tight.
I don't need a name, I don't need a soul. The static in the air is in control.
In control, yeah.
Just a flicker in the chrome, nowhere to go.
In the alley, in the dark.
Can you hear my heart?
Through the wires, through the spark.
It's tearing me apart.
Neon boy, you're glowing, glowing.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so here we go. So this guy, this fellow, Evil Mandrake, he reached out to, or he didn't reach out to me directly. Somebody I know in a server that I share reached out to the group and asked specifically if we could help with this issue. He has stated that he felt like the whole thing felt like a these characters kind of felt like they were doing a cosplay rather than actually being the character. So, okay. All right. So, I did a bit of a googly search and found a whole bunch of the Mega Mans. We need to pick a base image for the armor. Let's go with this one. Call it. I don't know the name of this character, so we'll just call it. Let's give it a name. Okay. All right, so we got that. Okay, now I need a character file. Oh, let me get the music playing again. Okay. Let me know if that music's too loud or if it could be louder. Oh, you meant that as a plus, not a minus? Okay, yeah, Kirito, not my favorite. I was definitely more of a fan of his girlfriend in that case. Alright, we need our character sheets. Actually, you know what? We'll start with working on our prompt itself. Okay, so we're going to use, or I'm going to use ChatGPT to actually craft the prompt itself. And we'll start with, I need a prompt that will use two reference sheets. First is the base character. The second is going to be of the armor being worn. We're just going to kind of start off with this. Oh, come on. My VLC player is just loving interrupting me. Okay. Being worn. I need prompt to create. Oh, excuse me. An image of a Mega Man character. Oh, my eye is watering like crazy. And I do apologize. Holy smokes. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. Mega Man themed. Sorry. Otherwise, it's gonna say something about third-party nonsense, and I don't want to fight with ChatGPT, or I want to fight with ChatGPT as little as possible. Yeah, it will be an interesting game. That is for sure. So I do actually. That actually is probably. I know I was just talking about how it's stupid to pre-order a video game, especially a digital one. But man, I'm telling you, the way that that game looked on Steam is absolutely bananas. Or at the very least, if I don't pre-order it, I think I might actually spend a little bit of extra money and get the one of the upgraded tiers of the game. Not the max tier, because that one is crazy, stupid expensive. But definitely one of the middle tiers for sure. Do. Alright. Okay. Mega Man themed character. Wearing the armor in a dynamic pose. Let's see. Yeah. Max here really needs to have some cool physical thing for me to buy it. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I keep going back to GTA 6. Trails in the Sky, the first chapter of the Deluxe. Okay. All right. Let me look that up, because I don't know nothing about that one. Trails in the Sky. Oh, okay, yeah, I saw this game like way back, and I had so much going on I couldn't buy any new games because I was a broke boy. But yeah, it looks like a nice little it has like the older Legend of Zelda kind of vibe to it, or like an older Final Fantasy kind of feel to it also. I dig it. I can dig it. Oh, the remaster. The remaster. Okay, let me put that in here. Is this the remaster? Yeah, yep, 2025. Okay. Oh, this is such an improvement, dude. This is an improvement. This actually almost kind of feels a bit like Genshin. In like the way the graphics and everything work. Yeah, that's cool. What comes in the deluxe edition? You get the first chapter and season pass, so you get like all the free DLC. That's cool. Yeah, I can see why, honestly. I can see why. Yeah, I get it. Back to what I was saying, as far as like the $100 game with like GTA 6, I remember when a $100 game got you like a whole bunch of like game swag, and I know it's a crappy swag to talk about, but when like Fallout 76 came out, you got like all the stuff. Yes, it was crappy stuff, but you at least got stuff. And you know, it at least in comparing the two, it at least justified the high price tag in some manner versus the way GTA 6 is doing it, which is here you get some of the game at $80, but you can't have all of the game unless you give us 100. In a dynamic pose in fighting in space. Let's just do that just to see what happens. You need to create a prompt. Need the prompt to create an image. Fighting in space. Use the first image as the character and the second image will be the armor. The base character will wear. We want it to be cinematic, high quality, and ChatGPT likes to put like those like wavy dots and stuff in there. Oh yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, you're right. They gave you like those like cheapy nogs. That's right. I forgot about those because I actually had a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Xbox, and every time you turned on the power, it would sound like the nogs powering up. And we want no pointillism. All right, let's see what kind of prompt this gives us. And then we'll take the prompt and then we'll load in our two characters. And then we'll see how it turned out. And we'll see if we were able to kind of improve on these images here in some kind of way. Although I'm not going to lie, of the initial 4 images Evil Mandrick created, this is probably my favorite one right here. Okay, sorry, I had to send a message. But yeah, they were the complaint was they wanted to do away with like this cosplay feel, and I think this one felt more like a natural character of the initial 4. This one's not bad either, honestly. I don't like this one as much as the other one, other than this sword. Excuse me, this sword is kind of cool. All right, let's see. All right, so this is our prompt. We'll copy that. We'll start a new chat. All right, let me find a couple of characters. I'm going to not do myself, because that would just feels weird to me. I'm going to You know, I have a female character that I created that I will use for this image, but not that version. I need the updated version. Okay. And then we pull in our downloaded image. Here we go. All right, and now we'll paste in our prompt and see what we get here. Hopefully, this turns out all right. Been messing around with AI for the past month now. Dude, I love it. I love doing stuff with the AI to the point where I actually paid for GPT. And I picked GPT over Grok, even though Grok does the animations. I picked GPT because GPT actually does better images. And for a lot of the other like writing stuff that I do, GPT is actually a better proofreader and a better organizer. So like when I'm writing my scripts and like stuff like that, it's better at organizing all of my thoughts and making it more concise instead of just like long and rambly. Also, it makes research, like for stories and stuff, it makes researching that kind of stuff so much easier. Oh my goodness, it is so much easier to do it that way. Even though I think like if you do things like write like websites or do any kind of coding like that, I think Grok is your better option. So if you do things like write code or do anything like that, or if you want to just like fart around with like animations and you don't care that much, Grok was fighting me. Dude, so they update Grok so often that a lot of times it actually, I feel like Grok for a while actually gets worse, honestly. All right, so this is our new image. It didn't do the sword like I asked it to, which is a problem. This was the image I told it. All right. So what we do here, something that I like to do is I like to tell it to analyze its own work. Let's see. Analyze. I can't spell. Analyze the resulting image against the prompt and the reference images and tell me what you did wrong. So we're going to make it check its own work here. I mean, it made a pretty banging image, honestly, but it didn't use the proper character. No, that is not the... The main issue is that you didn't copy the armor from the reference image. Sometimes you have to go back and forth with it a bit. Grok was fighting me a little bit in Gemini. Gemini's all right, honestly. I haven't really messed around with it too much. Okay, so here it's actually telling me what the revised prompt would be. So now I'm going to tell it to go ahead and revise the prompt. Revise the prompt. And give me the new version. Okay, so we just go back and forth with this until we get to something that we're actually into. I love how I love here at the end, it's like, the core fix, the next generation should stop designing around the armor and actually put Roxy inside that specific armor, which was the whole assignment before AI decided to become a freelance fashion criminal. I love that. That's hilarious. Okay. All right, so now we have a new revised prompt. Let me pull this out. We'll delete this one. Or no, we'll delete this one. All right, and we'll go with a new one. All right, we'll put the same images back in because we want to get some kind of consistency with our characters. So we'll put the Roxy character back in as the first image. And then we'll put the Mega Man image in here. And we have our new reference. So we'll go ahead and ram that through. And normally, because Mega Man is a protected thing, I have to put into I had to put into the prompt that it's themed, or similar to. Otherwise, ChatGPT will fight me tooth and nail to give me what I want. And so, this is the fastest way to get it to do what I want. It's really thinking this time. Either that or it errored. One of the two. Come on. Give me what I want. I swear, if it tells me to... Oh, hey. Hey, now. That's pretty all right. I kind of dig it. What do we think? Does this still feel like a cosplay? Let's compare it to this sword guy. What do we think? I'm kind of digging it. Do we think that it? Do we think that it beats the cosplay feeling that that Evil Mandrake says that his other characters have? Or does it still kind of feel like a cosplay? And I told it no pointillism, and it still kind of did it. But in the way that it did it, it's kind of okay. I'm not wholly against this version. All right. You think it beats it? Excellent. Sweet. All right, so I will save this image. Okay, so now let me ask it, see if we can try to improve it a little further. Okay, so the cosplayer thing, so, or do you know what cosplaying is, I'm assuming, where somebody dresses up in a costume of like an anime? But the way it was explained to me was, Evil Mandrake felt like his characters felt more like a cosplay. Like it was just like the main character, the base character. Okay, so he's feeling, the way he feels is the base character just feels like they're putting on a costume rather than actually being the character. So we're trying to make it feel like a real Mega Man character rather than just like somebody wearing a costume. So I'm going to ask it one more time if there is any improvements to be made to make the base character look more like the Mega Man character. So let's see. Oh, I know you're not trying to be sarcastic, Bear. I know that. Let's see if we can ask GPT to improve the prompt once more. Is there any way to make the base character look more like a natural Mega Man character? And again, I can't spell. Yeah, I didn't notice it either. My guess is he probably felt like they were too cartoony. Like too much of the original character was preserved. And the one that feels most like that is this rendition of Kirsch. This absolutely looks more like a cosplay. So when I looked at this image, I understood what he meant. This literally looks like the base character is literally just wearing the elements of the armor. And so when I look at that image, I kind of get what they're saying. Honestly, and so it kind of makes sense. And so all I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to like overdo his work or just like see what I can, I'm not trying to be like, I'm better than you. I'm trying to basically forge him a prompt that he can recreate and use. In fact, when I go to post it with my response, I'm going to say, hey, thanks for, I'm going to, tell him thanks for the inspiration for me to actually do this. So that's what he's trying to avoid. Yes, exactly. Trying to help him, get him over that last hurdle that he feels like he is on. All right, so let's see. Let's see what it says. Shape language to closer class action platformer robot hero. Right now, the result is still a lot of anime space mercenary with armor cosplay. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to avoid. This right here, we're trying to avoid this. Okay, so we'll tell it to make the changes. To the prompt. and give me the new version. I'm gonna be spending probably. I'm probably going to be spending a fair time in the prompt forge, honestly, with this one, because this one's actually kind of fun. This particular prompt. Okay, so now we have the revised prompt. Use to attach references as separate. Okay, here we go. I don't like that it gives me like all this, like the format. The format for the prompt is always different. And for those that don't know, negative prompting is just as important as telling it what you want is telling it what you don't want. Duck, please. Oh, well, if this seems to be attracting a bit of a crowd, so I might make this more of a Friday thing, or I might incorporate it more into what is typically Saturdays, which is my like everything deal. All right, so now that we have our new prompt, we'll copy it, and we'll start another new chat. We'll add our same images because I want to be able to repeat with the same two characters before I experiment with others. All right, so we have our base Roxy. And now we have our Mega Man armor. So with this, with GPT, the order in which you add them is actually important when you're prompting with more than one image. Because with reference, when you have two, especially when you have two images, reference one is always going to be tagged a certain way of how it's going to be utilized in the resulting prompt or the resulting image. And so you have to add that one first. And then the second one is always going to be referenced a completely different way. And so you have to add it second. If you get those out of order, what you'll end up with is you'll basically have the Mega Man character wearing Roxy's clothes. Or it just won't work at all. It'll get goofy. And that is the one thing that Grok does, is you can actually tag which image you want to use where, and you can tag it any number of times. You cannot do that with GPT. Grok is very beginner friendly, and GPT is a little more granular. It's more powerful with images, but you kind of have to have your feet wet and kind of have some idea what you're doing. All right, let's see what this gives us. Hopefully it's okay. Okay. Oh, sweet. Because I said themed, did you see that where it says, hey, Mega Man is copyrighted? Oh, but hey, he said specifically to theme it after. And so we're going to go ahead. One thing I did discover today, if you're going to use or try to get a result that's a copyrighted character, if you preface your prompt at the beginning with this is fair use, it's for like a YouTube video, if you put something like that at the front of your prompt, it will generally create it. I did that like literally a dozen times today for a video that I'm putting together. And I will see if I can't get... Oh, hey. What is that? That is not... I mean, it's more stylized, yes. And it's body shape wise, it's more what we want, but here we're running into against this whole issue here where it's doing weird things. So, does this look like the armor reference image? And so we're just going to keep doing this and somewhat. Okay. Well, it's a woman character. The armor is wrong. The arms are not accurate. The boots are one of the... All right, so now we tell it to fix the mistakes in the prompt. Give me the new version. And you literally have to like keep arguing with GPT like this. Yeah, not happy accidents. Although, no, actually, some of them are kind of happy accidents, but not when you, yeah, like when I was saying, when you get the images reversed. Definitely not happy. At least not when you know you made the mistake and it wasn't something in the prompt itself. And it's even worse if you don't realize that you put the images in wrong, because then you'll spend forever trying to fix everything when all you had to do was put the characters in the right order. All right, so this time we're just gonna... All right, this is getting out of hand, the size of this prompt. Oh, it says if you want, I can also do one more pass and turn this into an even more AI-proof hardline version. Yeah, let's have it do that. Do that, please. We'll be polite with it this time, because it actually suggested something that might be helpful to us. Okay, this one is less polite to the image model because apparently we now have to threaten it with a checklist. So I turned my GPT into an editor, and so it will go through and it will edit absolutely everything. So now it's actually gonna... I don't like that it kept this part in here. But for this test, we'll go ahead and we'll do it. We'll test the hardline one. And then if we don't like the way that everything turned out, we'll go back to the previous one, which kept everything open. Or kept most everything open. All right, we give it the prompt. Oh, it's that big, huh? See, and this is what I was trying to avoid, was a massive prompt that turns it into a freaking folder. Or a file. I was trying to avoid that. But if it gives me what I want, then I can cut it down and tell it, hey, it needs to accept any character sheet, not just the Roxy character. So we'll start with too much and then peel it back slowly, I guess. Because right now the prompt has hard-coded Roxy's visage into the prompt, and I don't want that. And neither does the guy that this is supposed to be for. I promise you, he doesn't want to keep seeing my character repeatedly in all of his attempts when he goes to actually and use it. Oh, googly goodness. Oh man, this is really thinking. I really must have chuffed it. Oh, hey. Oh, no. That is not what I wanted at all. This is doo-doo. We don't want that one at all. Okay, so let's try this one. Because it actually just spat out a character sheet, and I don't want a character sheet. So let's... Alright, let's copy this prompt. Because we have to edit this one now, because it's literally hard-coded my reference character into the prompt, and I don't want that. So we'll go back here. Wait, what's this one? Okay, so we'll go back to this one and we'll delete this one in the middle. All right, so now that we're here, I will tell it to modify the attached prompt to accept any reference images. All right, and now we'll just hopefully this will, I'm hoping, fix it. I didn't think this was going to be such a massive pain. Oh. I did not send it. I thought I had. I was sitting here waiting for it, and it didn't do the thing. Okay, so now we can... Okay, it's still going. Sometimes you have to go too far and then peel it back a little. All right. Man, it's still going. But we've at least removed the part where it's wholly dependent on those specific characters. And so now that we've done that, we'll start a new one. This time we'll go with, you know what? Let's go with the classic. Call it. We'll just go with the classic Mega Man. on this one. All right, so now we find a new character. This time, I think I will use myself. Oh, hey, what's going on? Absolutely, dude. I'm not stealing them. I could freely download them whenever. All right, and now we need our downloaded Mega Man image. No, come on. Just do the thing. Come on, you know what I meant. All right, so now we paste in our prompt. It's still huge, so it's going to put it in as a text file. All right, and we see what the result is. And how have you been doing? It's been a while. Oh, it's really thinking. Okay. Yeah. Just do the thing. No, don't. I didn't ask you to do that. Oh, come on. No, I didn't ask it to... I didn't ask it to do that. Why did it do that? This is annoying. It transferred it, and I didn't want it to transfer it. Okay, so this is useless. Okay, we are not transferring designs. We are combining the two reference images into one cohesive character. By starting a business. Why would you do that? Okay. Still writing. So the fix is to make both references contribute to one unified... Yes, exactly. Okay, all right, so analyze character 1. Okay. I'd really hate to have to start again, to be honest. Like, start from scratch. All right. Character sheet. Armor. Prompt. Let's try this again. Oh. I didn't think trying to get a detailed image would be this difficult, to be honest. But we forge ahead. Making the draft, setting the scene. And I generally try not to do huge prompts. Occasionally it happens, like with my statue building one. It's being stubborn. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And I don't know why. It was doing so good up until it decided to bake in image, identities. And I don't want baked in identities. Because that's just ridiculous. That one was fun. I mean, hey, almost. That's almost there. We are close. So now at this point, I'm just going to edit it, the image itself, and then have it redo the prompt. Okay, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the prompt in here and tell it to modify it so that none of the environment Yep. Honestly, this is probably the most realistic version. It definitely feels less like a cosplay. But we need to remove modify so that none of the environment gives the gives any reference to the base character. So we'll start by just editing out all of this background stuff. It's not needed. And any reference to the base character and no outfit from... I'm trying to figure out how the best to word this one. Modify it so that none of the environment references the base character and none of the base outfit gets added to the image. right, because I want to try to remove as much of the only thing that should exist of the main character is the face. I don't want any of this. I don't want any of this. And I don't want any of that. And to my knowledge, Mega Man does not have two blasters. Okay. I swear this will be either one of the coolest or one of the worst things that I'll have ever created. Probably some amalgamation of both, to be honest. All right. Okay. All right. Now we're going to mix it up because I don't want it to get used to us using just the same two characters. So this time we're going to use this guy, the main character from last time. Oh, you could have made it for free. All right, now we need our download of the sword, because now we're going to mix it up with the characters. All right, let's see what kind of things we get. What? Oh, what the heck? There's all this text and it's saying that there is no text. All right, fine. We'll go to a new chat. Character sheet. Mega Man armor. I swear, if it says there's no actual text in here again, I'm going to be pissed. Stop doing this. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, that one's cool. That one's cool. Oh. This is the one that I want to delete because it didn't actually do anything at all. Okay. This is getting frustrating. I can see why he was having issues creating his image. Show in text field. Okay. So let's see why it's deciding not to run. Okay, so there's literally something here now. Okay. So now there's actually something for it to run against. Now it finally creates an image instead of spitting another prompt change at me. See, there it is again. Need to be careful with specific art. What's up, Rogie? Have you had the issue that when you try to make changes to a prompt, it makes an image instead of changing the prompt? Kind of. I mean, I've had it create something that was totally not what I asked it for. Hey! It better add that helmet. Otherwise, that's pretty dope. Don't remove the ponytail. Oh, it better put the helmet on him, or I'm gonna be pissed. And also, that sword is wrong. Well, the armor is wrong. The Roxy version of this was actually better, to be honest. I may just, but yeah, what you're talking about does suck. All right, we're going to scrap the whole thing because this is creeping way too far. And this, where is it? This is the closest I've gotten so far. Let me just edit the thing here. No, you know what? We are going to just start all over again. We're going to delete all of these because the creep on these was absolutely... We're going to keep that one because I actually like that one a lot. And this one, I believe, had a couple of different additions to it. No, it just had the one and it was not good. It was completely the wrong character. Yeah, this one wasn't bad. This one was okay. But we are going to start completely fresh. All right. So this time we're actually going to start off with some the base images. All right. And we're going to mix it up a little. Let's see. Who do we put in here? Who do we put in? Who do we put in? Let's put... Alright. I need to find a character to put in here. Holy smokes. I can't believe it's so hard to find one. All right. Huh. You know what? We'll just stick to the ones we've been using. Heck with it. but we're going to go a little bit of a different route here. I've got a different version, that we're going to try. All right, we got that one. Let's start. I actually really want to try this one. All right, I need to combine these two images to make one cohesive character. It would help if I could spell. Okay, one cohesive character. Make one. Okay, so that's actually fine. Character. Use the subject from the first image as the base and put the armor on, or armor from the second subject on the first. Make sure that it fully replaces the first subject's outfit. Let's see, do not outfit. Make sure to copy any weapon. Make sure to copy any copy all parts of the outfit, including any weapon that might be exist. Make the environment random, but make it look like a fight just ended. And give the subject a dynamic pose. Make it a high quality image, high quality cinematic image. Do not include any pointillism. Okay. Let's see how that turns out. No, I said copy it exactly. I swear if you remove the helmet, I'm gonna be pissed. Because I said specifically to copy all parts of the outfit. So while we wait for this to goof around, what's everybody's plans for the 4th of July? I know I'm going to be doing stuff, so there will be no stream tomorrow. I will pick it back up on Sunday, though. So Saturday we'll resume with the typical shenanigans. That ain't bad. That really is not bad at all. Just posting your project. Is that the oh, that's the fair one, right? And D&D was canceled, so I'm sad. So how is your project faring? That's really cool. Honestly, I think that's probably the closest we've gotten so far. I like this one. So we're going to save it. But we're also going to edit this. All parts of the outfit, including helmet and any weapon. 4 prompts and glamour shots finished. Nice. I see we're ignoring my pun. But that's fine. But it sounds like you're making a lot of progress, dude. I hope my contribution was helpful. Oh, you don't have to. I'll be around after stream is over. You can show me then. I don't want to ruin the surprise if you want to keep it a surprise. I don't want to ruin it, dude. Yeah, definitely. Okay, come on. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes. Show me the exact prompt for this newest image. Oh, I think we're onto something here. Nice, nice, nice. Dude, I think we're onto something here. So let's start a new chat so that way we don't have the history. Wait. Actually, let me go back here. Let me copy this bad boy. Now we start a new chat. Now we go in here. We add 2 new images. Where's my blue Mega Man? Okay, there it is. All right, so this time we're gonna play a prank on it. We're gonna load Roxy with the basic blue Mega Man, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, nothing wonky. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we do that, what we should do is make the prompt universal so I can use any 2 references I want. This is the way to do it, because we don't want to keep putting, the Rokai character in there. We don't want me in all of the dude's images, or at least we don't want my name. I'm not that into myself. Okay, so now we have that. We new chat. We delete that. It's important to put our images in first. We play our prank. With our character images. And we forge ahead. If this returns anything like the previous version, I think we're in business. And then once we get verification, then we'll post the good news. I think that's the play here. Oh, come on. Give me good news. It is really taking its time thinking on this one for sure. I wonder if it's thinking how to reconcile the female main character with a male armor suit. I think that might be what's holding it up. Oh. I think we might have done it. Does that feel like a cosplay to you guys? Or do we call this a finished piece? Because I'll be honest, I'm kind of digging it. All right, this time we'll swap them back to the original. This time we'll put me in blue, and then we'll put Roxy in the red. All right, so we new chat. We Rokai. Okay. And then we Mega Man. And we throw in our prompt. But I'm kind of digging this version of the prompt. Sometimes it's better to just throw everything away and start over instead of trying to polish a turd, as they say. No sense in polishing a turd when you can just start over and get something better. And I think that was my fault because I started without reference images. I should have started the prompt with reference images instead of trying to go in blind. But the stuff you learn along the way, right? That's what matters. It's liking to take its time, and as long as it doesn't produce a doo-doo image, I'm okay with it. Quick question though, is this something that I should be including? Oh, this one did not turn out so well. So let me tell it to when the subject is wearing a helmet, it is okay to fully hide the hair. Okay, so now that we've prompted this minor change, hopefully it will give us okay, so try rendering the image. Okay, so give me the fixed prompt. Okay, so here we go. I swear I better not be enormously long again. Okay. So now we'll copy it. New chat. Rokai sheet. Well, we were onto something until the Rokai character. Okay. I guess it just needed me to spell out that it's okay to hide the helmet. Which is fine. Okay, I don't know why the Streamlabs thing is still posting stuff. It's not supposed to. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got. I don't mind the discoloration of the blaster in the previous image. What's really bugging me was the hair. Yes, yes, yes. Generate the image. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes. Okay, so we can delete that one. That one's okay. We can delete that one. Okay, so we're going to save this one. Save. There we go. Block. Okay, sweet. We've got that one. So we know that the Rokai character works for the Mega Man. And to get a baseline, we'll use him again, but this time, where is Mega Man Sword? There we go. Copy in our prompt. And if this one works too, then we'll call it good. Oh. Ooh, my back is hurting. Like crazy. Ooh, googly moogly. Now that's some high quality H2O. All right, come on. Give me what I need. Give me it. No! It is not a blaster, that is a sword, you dork. Ah! Ahaha! Hasn't been fully preserved. Of course, tweaks are needed. The hair is showing. Nice. Okay, I was worried for a second. We might have to find a new Mega Man image. Let's, excuse me. Sprout Woman, huh? Yeah, let's use this one. Same image as save it as Sprout. It's still putting the hair out. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Okay, image B is the outfit, armor, gear, weapon reference. Image B is the direct design blueprint for the full armor, gear, helmet, and weapon design. Copy the full design language from image B onto the subject from image A as closely as completely as possible. This is not loose interpretation, not a partial blend, and not a redesign. From image B must fully replace the outfit from image A, including all major visual components. Mask or full headgear that naturally covers the head. It is okay for subject's hair to be fully hidden. Alright, so... Alright, now that we've modified this, let's copy it. Let's try again, just to see if our change actually fixed anything. Yeah, I've forgotten so much about Mega Man, dude. Because when I played Mega Man as a kid, it was literally just like Mega Man and the enemies, and there was only a handful of them that I remember.
Step up to the cart. The infusion is ready.
See, it even recognized that the hair must be fully hidden. So we might be onto something here. All right, and then we'll start a new chat, and this time we'll take Roxy and put her with the Sprout armor and see what happens. Oh, that is so much better. That is tons better. All right, so we'll download that. All right, now we will put Roxy with the Sprout armor. All right, and if these two work, then we'll call it good. Or at least good enough, and then he can kind of tweak it from there. I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I really am. Super duper excited, in fact. Okay. Come on. Give me the goods. Give me the goods.
T-Man. Slow.
How does the background music sound to you guys? Is it too quiet? Does it need to be a little louder?
Hit or bomb ass forever.
Oh, hey. Her hair is sticking out. And it's not necessarily supposed to, but I don't hate it. I don't hate this. I do kind of dig it, in fact. So, with this one being a success and this one turning into a success, I say we call it good. Why is download blocked? Come on. It's not letting me download. All right, you know what? I have an idea. Just download it on my other browser, I guess. There we go. Problem solved. All right, so we have our completed prompt. So let's go ahead and write our boy Evil Mandrake a message here. So here, and we go prompt starts. We go another line. We put our defining dots, go down here. We paste the prompt. And then we add our images. Make sure I get the right ones. Okay, so there's that one. And we'll give him that one. I think... What do you think? Do you think that's enough to give him? We'll give him the third one too. What do we think? Do you think we have completed our task? Let me throw in a let me add him real quick. Forge on this. For you, I hope Not that kind. I hope this is what you were looking for. Thank you for the inspiration. Okay, what do we think? Your honest opinions. Did we meet the challenge of making it feel like it's not a cosplay? That's kind of how I'm feeling anyway. All right, so we will go ahead. And we will reply. We'll send our reply there. And you always got to like your own stuff. Okay, I do believe we have met his thing. Let's go ahead and unbookmark that. But yeah, this is Evil Mandrake. He is dabbling in some AI art as well, it seems. He's got, you know, some of the stuff that... Oh, that was Moses that created those. Where's his? Let's check his media. I know I've seen him make stuff. All right, so yeah, you know, he's dabbling, he's experimenting with some Mega Man stuff right now. You guys go check out his profile. I'm sure he would appreciate the follows and stuff. All right. So with that, I know I had promised some game playing, but we seem to have reached our time limit here because I got to get to bed. So we will go ahead and raid some people. Over there on Twitch, we are going to raid Fiad, and I'm sure I'm butchering her name. She does some really nice, cool stuff. So you guys should hang out in her stream. So go ahead and check her out. And I will see you guys on Sunday.